What they saw in Yellowstone still has no explanation. So the story happens in the fall of '94. A boy and his dad are planning this camping trip to Yellowstone. The first night, they were going to stay in a cabin just to ease into it. They weren't hardcore survivalists or anything like that, just, regular people looking for a few peaceful nights in the woods. So the next morning, they pack up their gear and they set out into the forest. The plan was to camp 2 more nights. They were following a well known trail, one that led out to the scenic overlook, the kind that normally had hikers and old boot prints and stuff like that. But it was strangely empty, like too empty. They didn't see a single other person, nothing at all. But they kept going. So eventually they find this clearing off the trail. It was a perfect spot, flat ground, stream nearby. I mean, it's exactly what you would think of while camping. So they set up their camp and they got this small fire going. And they spent the day, fishing, cooking, just relaxing and enjoying the place. So the sun goes down. The air gets cold fast. So they bundle up and they sat by the fire and they told some stories. The dad tells his son about how he used to camp there in the '70s and how peaceful it was. They turn in. But sometime around 2:30 in the morning, the son, who's maybe now 14 or 15 at the time, wakes up. He doesn't hear anything. He didn't have a nightmare. Just that weird sinking feeling in your chest that something's not right. So he sits up and, listens for a second, just dead silent. He figured he must have just had to use the bathroom or something. So he unzips his tent, steps outside, and, walks over to the edge of the woods. Now, this is where it gets messed up. He's standing there, looking out at the trees when he suddenly feels something. Not hears something. Feels like that pressure in the air when you know you're being watched. He glances around, and that's when he sees it. There's a face in the bush, low to the ground, just staring at him. It wasn't a person's face exactly. Super pale, hairless. It had this weird twisted grin, and its eyes were white. No pupils. Bloodshot like they hadn't been closed in days. And the thing, it was just watching him, unmoving. So he bolts, full on panic, runs across the clearing and dives into his tent. He's like yelling at his dad to wake up, like, Dad, Dad, Dad. He's like startled as he grabs a flashlight and comes out fast. The kid's freaking out, pointing towards the bush, trying to explain what he saw. His dad listens, trying to calm him down, and says, all right, just show me what's going on, right? So they go over to the bush, and there's nothing. It's just empty branches. The dad looks around a bit, kind of has like a sigh of relief, like that there wasn't something. He tells him maybe it was a dream or a shadow or a trick of the light. But then while the kid's still trying to explain what the face looked like, the dad just freezes. I mean, he's just standing still, his flashlight slowly panning over the clearing. And suddenly, his whole demeanor changes. He turns pale, his eyes go wide, and he completely has this serious, he goes, we're leaving right now. And the kid's confused. He's like, Dad, what's going on? The dad's like, look, just get your stuff. We're leaving now. So they don't hesitate. They don't even break down the tent. Don't even put out the fire. They just grab their flashlight and start walking the trail in the middle of the night. They eventually make it to a ranger station. The dad pulls one of the rangers aside and whispers something. The kid couldn't hear what he said, but whatever it was, the ranger looked shook up. Real bad. He got real quiet, didn't even ask a single question. Just offered them to walk into their car and wish them a safe trip home. Now, on the drive back, the sun's starting to rise now. They're tired, but the kid finally asks his dad, what'd you see back there? And at first, the dad doesn't answer. He's just gripping the wheel hard, staring ahead. And he finally says, I saw the face too. The kid goes, in the bush? And the dad kind of just looks at him and shakes his head and he goes, no, son. I saw saw it in your tent.